Hari Om, Namaskar.
Hari Om.
Namaste.
Yeah, I think the previous two speakers not only covered their usual stuff, but मेरा भी cover कर दिया है. About they have taken the analogies of the corporate world, industry वगैरह जो मैं सोचा कि I will also focus. But now that it is discussed and विस्तार रूप से अच्छी तरह से इन्होंने समझाया. But now I'll take a different, take on the course. So, while going through the shlokas once again, while I'm listening to you, a couple of, phrases and then the words have caught my attention, and I thought I'll focus and then give my interpretation and maybe commentary based on the practical understanding. So, in the first thing, of course, when we look at it, everywhere it is discussed and then elaborately, and it was made controversial, as well as a lot of debates and arguments and discussions have happened for centuries, and then even they continue to do that. But when we look at it, it is all motivated by the propagandists and then the motivated parties because of their own personal power. So it is mostly to establish the hegemony of a certain class on the other so-called classes. So, but if you look at it as it is already explained, and then it is all available in the discussions and then the previous arguments and then debates, we know, and we've gone through it. But in spite of knowing that, even the so-called educated people also seem to be only living in the past. Because at some point of time in history, even if some motivated people, some swartha log, because of the selfish nature, in order to exercise their hegemony and then the power and then try to oppress or suppress a particular set of people, it doesn't mean that it is happening. The world is transformed and then moved, and we have come a long way. In fact, if you look at it, the so-called Brahmins are in the lowest rung of the, the power struggle or the hierarchy. If you look at it, so you can't. So this is the so-called Brahmins. Even if we consider them as a caste, though it is a misnomer, and all of us know, at least educated people should have a clear understanding about what is being said either in Manusmriti or in Upanishads or Puranas or even in Bhagavad Gita, in Veda. So very often people have little understanding and more misunderstanding and tend to interpret because of that ignorance and then the narrative which is pala posa gaya hai because of the Macaulay thing and then Mughals as well, British, we know that. So let us understand. First of all, let us clarify, and it is already clarified, how this word caste has come. Because, in fact, if I were to only stick to these Bhagavad Gita 5 shlokas of this particular chapter for today's episode, I should not be talking about Varna, even if it is because there is nowhere this word used, Varna, in these 5 shlokas. So I just want to actually do not want to talk about Varna, even if it is interpretation of the Varna as a caste or anything, because Bhagavan is saying Karmani Pravibhaktani. In all the 5 shlokas, if you look at it, he has used only Karma. And Karmani, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Karmani Pravibhaktani. And then what is that he said? Swabhava Prabhavair Gunaihi. And it is also clear that always it is always said, either in Bhagavad Gita or Purana or Veda, Guna Karma Vibhagashaha, Guna and then the Karma. He is very clearly saying Karmani Pravibhaktani. So I wanted to only stay on the Karma, the actions and then the activities and the behavior and then the acts of the people, a particular set of a people. So all of us are persons and all of us have got our own personalities. So as a HR person and a leader, so when I have done thousands of training programs on personality development in my career. So what is this personality? How does this personality get so formed? Whom do you call a person? And then a personality development, why is it important? Even in management, in the sense even managing ourselves also, a personality has got certain characteristic traits and qualities that forms on a human's personality. So I would like to call it with an acronym called CASH, KASH, KASH, काश. काश हमारे पास कैश होता तो ये सब झंझट नहीं होता. KASH is knowledge, attitude, skills and then habits. ये knowledge, attitude, skills and then habits से ही personality बनता है. तो इसमें the most important प्राणाधारा वर्ण, वर्ण means also an alphabet. Here is the A, the vowel, KASH. Otherwise, KSH is become ksha ksha. So cash, with a meaningful word, it happens with that particular varna of an vowel, which is A. That is the most misunderstood, very difficult thing, attitude. So we can learn, we can acquire knowledge, we can acquire skill, we can learn habits by practice, and all that we can acquire. But these attitudes, how will they come? The attitude seems to be coming from the Janmantara Vasana. So that is the essential aspect of the Sanatana Dharma and the belief system. Because we believe in Punarjanma, rebirth, and then carry forward of the Agami, Sanchita, Prarabdha, Karmas, and all. All are about the karmas only. Even the Srishti Karya is also a karma, so Kamayata, that Kama is also a karma actually, and then Srishti Karya. So, Brahmana Purva Srushtam hi, that's what he said. So, I would like to quote Dhrugu and Bharadwaja Samvada, and there it is very clearly written that na varnanam visheshosti, na varnanam visheshosti, sarvam brahmamidam jagat. Sarvam Brahmamidam Jagatu. The Jagat was the entire universe is created by the Brahma, the creator, and with the command of the Paramatma, the Parabrahman. So the Chaturmukha Brahma is different from Parabrahma, the creator Brahma. Okay, by the order of the Paramatma, it is when he created. All are equal. That's what we believe one side. Though, if you actually scientifically look at it, no two people, humans are equal. That is why we take the thumb impression or the hair follicle or whatever the DNA. It is completely different. So, like for example, China is the most popular city, and then India. At least as Indians, we can identify. If let's say on a Republic Day parade, there are files which are moving in the platoons which are moving left, right, left, right, left, right. तो दूर से जब अगर हम पिक्चर देखते हैं या टीवी पे बैठ के देख रहे हैं तो one set of people like 100 or 120 or whatever like so equally they are moving exactly looking same uniform and they look equal. And if they are Chinese army, imagine it is much more difficult for us to even identify. They look same. The faces also look similar for us. We can't differentiate. In 100 group of Chinese and they are wearing uniform and then agar parade kar rahe hain to, and our Olympics and all synchronously they are moving or marching in a parade. You just can't make out from the distance. But actually while they are in the file and they are doing left right march पथ चलन जब करते थे उन लोगों को मालूम है कौन क्या है and they know all the differences and everybody the commander knows the differences, the human knows the difference, and their wives know, their children know, everybody knows. But for us who are looking from external this thing with that kind of a point of view, so it's a matter of point of view, and then हमारा दृष्टिकोण का परिमिति है, limitation, that we are not able to see the equality in the division and division in the equality. So that's how logically it can be explained. But Brahma, when he is created everybody equally, because he is not a biased person, whether any creator in any belief system, whichever religion. So everybody is a very very neutral person. The God when he has created, or हमारे यहाँ ब्रह्मा या परमात्मा when we created, then why are so many differences? Is because of the carry baggage luggage that we carry from the samskaras because of our punya karma and papa karma. So that is also there. So then Prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. So when that nature is the deciding factor, then what is that actually are we trying to control or divide and rule and things like that. So that is there. So if you say another thing is that now coming to whatever division. Okay, let's say caste. A caste kahan se aaya? So in 16th century when Portuguese people have arrived, it is a Portuguese word called casta. Means it's a class or a division or a race. That is how it is. So from then onwards, otherwise it is only a recent phenomenon at around 400-500 years old. Before that, there was no word like caste. And again, we are hearing in 2024 from some papus that there should be a further caste division and things like that. So these are all motivated stuff and then the narrative. And even the so-called educated people are also. So why do? So, but if you look at it, actually, the divisions is all about establishing one's superiority over the other. I just want to ask, had there been, let us say, a reverse order, you turn upside down and then keep Shudras on the top and then, Vaishyas and then Kshatriyas and then Brahmins like they are now. So like that only, let us say if it is there. Even then, the so-called Brahmins were called Shudras with highest, qualities or, higher pursuits and the top of the hierarchy class. Even then, I am sure, I bet you they would have fought. There would have been wars. So let us say the so-called, there are 72 firqis in the so-called peaceful religion. And there are so many divisions. One church following people will not go to the other church. They fight, they kill amongst themselves. In fact, we never had 100 years wars and 1000 years wars. They had crusades and then 100-year wars. So that you look at it, so the division is actually not because some Chaturvarnyamaya Srushtam, some Manu said or Bhagavan said or only Hindu system has said. No, at least we have got four, even if it is said by the Bhagavan or Veda or Shruti or Smriti. But which Smriti has said we are the oldest and the Sanatana? And the so-called 2000-year-olds and 16-year-olds also have got more than 50 divisions and then 5,000 divisions. Then who said and then what has caused them? So it is all bunkum and then it is all self-created only to establish one superior. A poorest of the poor Brahmin and a richest of the rich Shudra. And look at the division and then the kind of the establishment and then how the power game works in that kind of a scenario. So we know that, that is what there. So it is all actually this thing. So what is it is important. So another analogy I wish to give is the parts of the body. From the childhood, they used to give whenever this kind of a debate or a discussion used to come, the parts of the body. So let us say we have got vital organs. So first, all parts of the body are equal. So we say that even the toe is me, and then the hair follicle is me, the forehead is me, the kantha is me. Every part of the body, the hands, body part, legs, everything, fingers, nails, everything is my nail, my hair. Like that we say that. So all parts of the body are extremely important. At the age of 40, 50, if it becomes gray, or even 50, 60, when you become bald or receding hairline also, we'll feel terrible about it, and then we try to camouflage with all sorts of tools and then cosmetics. So we do that only to look good. So looking good has become very important, and looking powerful has become more important than being good and then actually being closer to the superpower, super consciousness. That's where is the problem. So body parts. So let's say, imagine if any one of the body part doesn't do its swadharma, or it doesn't do its natural duty, then the whole body will come to the halt, and then the person will become sick. Like for example, so for this division of four, let us say on the top, let us say the higher class, the so-called Brahmins are the brain, the Kshatriyas are the heart because it is emotional, and then the Vaishya lungs, let us say, are the Vaishyas, and then the kidneys are the, let us say, Shudras. So just because brain is functioning, and then if the kidneys stop functioning, because the job of a kidney is cleaning. Actually, if you look at it, the etymology of the Sanskrit also, let us say Shudra is about the Shuddha karne wala, the clean, purify, the clean, and then the washing, cleaning, all the serving and all those things. Shudra, and then Vishya is Visha, Upavisha means settler, and then जो बैठ के आराम से the stability जो लाने वाले हैं, जो वैश्य हैं, residents, so they are the people who will stay put. And then the Kshatra is the Kshatratra. So those people who are in trouble, they will protect. Trahi means protect. Kshatratra is the Kshatra. And then Brahmana is the जो Brahman को pursue करने वाले, the Brahma ज्ञान को pursue करने वाले, या Brahman. That of course these etymological meanings are also there. Similarly, brain, heart, lungs, and then kidneys also. If you look at it, all the vital organs all are important. We can't say even, we don't have to say equal. They are more than equal with each other, actually speaking. Anywhere any trouble is there, if kidneys don't stop, I mean, they don't function properly, so the na brain काम करेगी, na heart काम करेगी, and entire body will go for a toss and dialysis, and then मृत्यु हो सकता है. Similarly, heart attack. So like brain dead, so like that, and then lung cancer. So it could be possible. So that is another analogy our people gives. And another important thing is Swaswaya Dharma. That's what he's saying. The Swadharma, how is it important? If one person has achieved the perfection by performing his natural swabhavaja, so one people who realize quickly what they are good at, what is their natural talent and then natural skill, if they pursue that, the chances of they getting it to the perfection are more. Like for example, I would like to give. Can you imagine Bhimsen Joshi? Can you imagine expecting Pandit Bhimsen Joshi to play cricket? You can't even think about it. Pandit Bhimsen Joshi playing cricket. Impossible. Similarly, Sachin Tendulkar or Kapil Dev or Dhoni with their Sachin Tendulkar, which is Pila voice, and then Dhoni and then Kapil Dev with their baritone voices, let's say, they can't sing a higher octave in either Hindustani or Carnatic. So you can't, it is be stupidity to expect Bhimsen Joshi, who is a Bharat Ratna and is the greatest singer of all time, in his own chosen area of Gharana, which is, Dharwad Gharana, let's say. And not only he Simit Rahe, or even Pandit Ravi Shankar. So instead of giving him sitar, if you give him a hockey stick or a cricket bat, it is of no use. And you can't expect that. It is ridiculous, to have that kind of an expectation. Similarly, those people who are what is their natural skill and then nature, that needs to be pursued. And here he said karmani pravibhaktani, the division is about based on the karma and then the guna. So anybody, so I don't know where from there. Of course, some people say Skanda Purana mein hai, Janmana Jayate Shudraha, Karmana Jayate Dvija and all, Brahmagyanam to Brahmanam and all, and everybody caught on to it, and then they were keep on talking about it. Then उसी का interpretation रहते हैं. So कुछ लोग बोलते हैं वेद में है, कुछ पुराण में है. पुराण is not a pramana, Veda is the pramana, and then the Shruti and then the Mrutis and Dharma Shastras are the pramana. So as I said, even if you don't accept this and then you reverse also, people would have definitely fought because they want fighting basically. They wanted to fight and they wanted to establish. वैसे लोगों को अगर वैसा बुद्धि है तो तुम जो भी नाम से पुकारो या बुलाओ, ये लोग तो they will find ways and means to divide amongst themselves, or the more interested political parties will divide them only in order to rule them, and they have succeeded. If you look at it, at least now we should be able to find out. But if you look at it, and another word which is extremely interesting, I found it in the 44th shloka. If you look at it, परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्यापि शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम शूद्रस्या अपि. That's a fantastic word. People generally tend to miss that. Why did he say Sudrasyapi? Sudra also for Sudras. That means for everybody Paricharya. What is a Paricharya? Is the Seva and then the servitude and then the surrender or the Sharanagati. किनको पर किनकी परिचय? अगर सब में भगवान के रूप में जानने वाले, सब में अंतरात्मा देखने वाले, and because we are born, we are not born sinners. We are born very, very pious people, and then we are Vishwa Amrutasya Putra. We are. So we are all, Brahma is the creator, and then when we are born, there was no division and equal. But as we start experiencing the baggage, and also we accumulate and then we increase that baggage because of our good or bad deeds in this whatever span of 70, 80 years of our life. So that's how we accumulate and then we consolidate and then we increase the burden of life, instead of lessening it by surrendering and by looking the super consciousness परमात्मा सभी में और भगवान को सब में देख के समत्व बुद्धि से, and हमारा स्वधर्म, and the sooner we realize that what we are good at and we pursue that. Some parents keep pushing them, IIT को जाओ, तुम engineer बनो, तुम doctor बनो, ऐसा like that. Instead of that, early if we realize what is their natural aptitude and then the attitude of the children. The people who are like, earlier it used to be like that, but nowadays if you look at it, people are engaging their children into freedom and then liberal arts and sports and things like that, and they are earning better careers and then better, because that which is natural to them and they're liking, they're excelling. Similarly, in guna and then the karma, once we know what is the quality which makes us seek perfection and attain perfection, and what are the natural qualities that we have and abilities we have. So once we work to the best of our abilities and inculcate the best qualities which have proven, like Jadacharati Shrestha, like that is why guru ka avashyakata jyada hota hai, कि once you learn it from a great guru in an academy or in a gurukul or whatever, that's why people go to great gurus and then great colleges and for training and all. So naturally, so they are the people who will get the proper training, and then the chances of they getting into and repeating the success formula are higher. So that is more important, and that is possible and open to everybody. Everybody can pursue that by acquiring those knowledge, those skills, and work on their attitudes. And इसके लिए हमारा दान जप धर्म को धर्म कार्यक्रम तपस्सु शौचम, all these things, qualities arjavam, shama dama tapa शौच क्षांति arjavam, these are the sattvic jnana vijnana astikya. These are the sattvic qualities which will help, and each one according to their aptitude and then the natural abilities, like Saurya, Teja, Dhriti, Dakshata, and then Apalayanam, to not fleeing that, like Ranchod Das, that's the word, Gujarati में लोगों को कृष्ण को दिया गया, दानम ईश्वर भावा, the leadership qualities, and Gauraksha, Vanijya, and Krishi, and farming and all that, and also serving, cleaning, and skillful attitude, technology, technicians, and all sorts of the occupational skills. So this division has created an absolutely balanced society, and it continues to do that. But in the process of it, by borrowing some Portuguese term and then some motivated British divide and rule policy, and still if we are struggling, हमारे से ज्यादा, हमसे ज्यादा मूर्ख कोई नहीं होता है, तो और इनसे ज्यादा मूर्ख कोई नहीं होगा, और जल्दी जागने की जरूरत है, आवश्यकता है, और जितना जल्दी जाने और ईश्वर प्रणिधान में एक सभी, लाइक जैसे भगवान ने बोला है कि परिचर्यात्मकम कर्माणुम शूद्रस्यापि, दैट्स व्हाट ही इज सेइंग, तो आपी में सब लोग शामिल हैं। तो हम सब लोगों को भी जरूरत है कि ये शरणागति, सरेंडर इज नॉट ए ह्यूमिलिटी, इज नॉट सर्विलिटी, and service is not a low end job. Service is the highest job, and service to humanity is service to God. Thank you.
Right.